Hi, I'm Anthony Holman, Head of ETF Products here at S&P Capital IQ, and today I'm joined by Todd Rosenbluth, Director of ETF Research. Today is a big day for S&P Capital IQ as we continue our expansion to include commodity and currency ETF research. For the past 4 years, S&P Capital IQ has provided rankings on equity ETFs with a holdings-based approach using proprietary tools such as the S&P Capital IQ Stars and Quality Rankings. We cover 780 equity ETFs, including many that have less than a 3-year track record. And today we add reports on 60 commodity and currency ETFs. Todd, how do these new ETF asset classes fit into clients' portfolios?
So what we're seeing from a commodity standpoint is investors are using this to diversify their portfolio to gain access to certain asset classes such as gold, as silver, such as oil products. From a currency standpoint, they're often used as a hedge. So lots of investors that are focused on international markets, and you have international or emerging market ETFs in your portfolio, you often may want to hedge that by taking on a hedged or a play on the US dollar versus other currencies such as the euro or the yen, and that's what currency ETFs can offer investors.
How can an investor compare one commodity ETF to another?
Yeah, so what we're not doing is doing an overall ranking at S&P Capital IQ because it's hard to compare the differences between a gold ETF that has physical versus gold ETF that's using derivatives. So what we want to do is show you what is inside that, whether it has gold in a physical commodity or it is using derivatives. But you can also look at the expense ratio, you can look at performance characteristics, you can look at the bid-ask spread, the same things you'd want to look at with an equity ETF. Cheaper is always better as long as you understand the exposure you're taking on.
Understood the rationale behind not including a ranking on the report. What else is in the research report that could help an investor?
Yeah, so what we've done at S&P is tap into our Capital IQ consensus database. So we've got lots of information about gold. What do the equity analysts that cover gold mining stocks think of gold? What they are using for their forecasts. And so we're using that in our research. So if you pulled up one of our gold ETF reports, you would see what is consensus expectations for gold over the next 12 months. How does that compare with consensus expectations for silver, for platinum, and palladium? We think that's helpful because if you're bullish on a gold ETF, you'd want to know where the rest of the consensus is to make sure you're in the right ballpark.
Thanks, Todd. We're excited for the launch. And thanks to you for tuning in. The new reports can be found along with our current equity ETF offerings as well as our fixed income offerings on our MarketScope Advisor platform. The research can also be found on platforms of some of our wealth partners and self-directed sites. To learn more about our research, log on to getmarketscope.com.